There comes a time in our lives when we ask ourselves, why does my life feel like it's on repeat? Why does it seem like I'm not making progress? I'm not lazy, I have dreams, but why do I feel stuck? The answer is simple. Your behavior is shaping your reality. Your daily habits, the way you think, and the decisions you make. These are the silent forces controlling your life. Sometimes we think, maybe I just need luck, or maybe I'm just not as talented as others. But what if I told you that the only thing standing between where you are now and where you want to be is you? Your behavior is like the software that runs your life. If your old habits are not leading you to progress, you need to hack your own system. You need to break free from old patterns and install new behaviors that will help you grow. It starts in the mind. Successful people don't succeed just because of luck. They succeed because they have a different mindset. When they face problems, they don't think, that's it, I'm done. Instead, they ask, how can I overcome this? They believe that there is always a way. Have you ever noticed that some people, no matter how many opportunities you give them, still don't change? That's if you don't change the way you think. No matter how great the opportunity that comes your way, you won't be able to maximize it. So the first thing you need to do is change the way you think. Start asking yourself, what do I constantly tell myself? Because if you keep saying life is hard, that you can't do it, or that maybe success isn't meant for you, then you're writing your own failure story. But the moment you start asking, what can I do to improve? What's my next step? Your brain will start looking for solutions instead of excuses. But positive thinking alone is not enough. You also need to change your routine. Do you know why we don't always notice change? Because we don't realize that we keep doing the same things every single day. Your life today is just a reflection of your habits. If you want different results, you need to change the process. Sometimes we wake up, check our phones, get lost in social media, and later wonder, why does it feel like I didn't accomplish anything? That's because small daily habits, no matter how tiny, accumulate over time. You may not notice it now, but if every day you prioritize distractions over your growth, you are slowly setting yourself up for failure. So you need to break the cycle. If you want to be productive, start your day with purpose. Instead of checking your phone first thing in the morning, try reading something inspiring or planning your tasks for the day. Instead of spending hours watching random videos, use that time to learn something new. If you want to become physically stronger, start exercising. If you want to succeed, you have to train yourself to do what most people are not willing to do. But I know it's easier said than done, right? The hardest part is always starting. Many people are full of dreams but lack action. Motivation alone is not enough. Do you know why? Because motivation is like the wind. It comes and goes. One day you feel so inspired, but the next day it's gone. That's why you can't wait for motivation before you take action. You need discipline. If you truly want to change your life, you need to take action even when you don't feel like it. Even when you're lazy, even when you're not motivated, because that's what successful people do. They move forward even when they don't feel like it. You don't need to take massive steps right away. Start small, even just 5 minutes a day, even just one new habit. The goal is not to be perfect, it's to be consistent. And don't forget, your environment has a huge impact on your behavior. If you are constantly surrounded by negativity, change will be difficult. No matter how much effort you put in, if you remain in a toxic environment, you will keep going back to your old habits. So ask yourself, who do I spend the most time with? What kind of content do I consume? What are the things I regularly listen to? If you want to grow, surround yourself with people who inspire you, people who push you to be better. This doesn't mean you have to leave your friends or family behind, but be mindful of who you spend the most time with. Because if you want to change, but the people around you don't support your growth, your progress will be difficult. Find mentors. Listen to inspiring content, read books, do anything that helps you become a better version of yourself. And one of the most important mindsets you need to learn is this: failure is not the enemy. Many people are afraid of failure, afraid to try, afraid to get hurt. But what they don't realize is that failure is a part of success. No one has ever succeeded without making mistakes and learning from them. You didn't learn to walk without falling down, did you? You didn't learn to speak without making mistakes in your first words. So why are you so afraid to make mistakes now? The difference between successful and unsuccessful people is simple. The successful ones didn't stop after failing. Every mistake, every rejection, every failure, it's all part of the learning process. So if you have a dream, don't let fear stop you. Be more afraid of growing old without ever having tried. And above all, remember this: you are in control of your life. Sometimes we think we have no control, that we depend on luck, other people, or our circumstances. But that's not true. Your life is your responsibility. No one else can make the change for you except you. If you want different results, change your habits. If you want a different life, change your mindset. If you want a different future, hack your behavior today. Many of the things we do every day are not conscious choices but automatic habits we've built over time. If you take a closer look at your daily routine, you'll notice that most of your actions follow a predictable pattern. You wake up, check your phone, scroll through social media, maybe hit snooze a few times before finally getting out of bed. You go through your day doing things almost without thinking, eating the same meals, reacting to situations the same way, and ending your night with the same habits. Over time, these patterns create the life you live today. If you feel stuck, uninspired, or like you're not making progress, the problem isn't necessarily a lack of ambition or opportunity. The problem is that you keep repeating the same behaviors while expecting a different result. You can't move forward if you keep walking in circles. If you truly want to grow, you need to break the cycle. Think about the most successful people in the world. They didn't get to where they are by accident. Their success isn't a matter of luck, it's the result of intentional habits. They wake up with purpose, structure their day with intention, and eliminate distractions that don't serve them. They don't waste time on things that don't align with their goals because they understand that every action they take builds their future. If you want to change your life, start by changing your routine. Instead of waking up and reaching for your phone, take a few minutes to focus on yourself. Set an intention for the day, write down your goals, or practice gratitude. If you always say you don't have time to work on your dreams, take a hard look at where your time is actually going. How much time do you spend scrolling, binge watching, or engaging in conversations that don't add value to your life? Breaking bad patterns doesn't mean making drastic, overwhelming changes overnight. It starts with small but deliberate shifts. Replace one bad habit with a better one. If you tend to procrastinate, start by committing to just 5 minutes of focused work. If you feel drained by negative people, spend more time around those who inspire and uplift you. If you always make excuses for not exercising, start with just a few minutes of movement each day. The key is to take control of the habits that shape your life instead of letting them control you. It won't be easy at first. Your mind and body are conditioned to seek comfort and familiarity, even if that means staying stuck in routines that don't serve you. But the moment you break free from these patterns, you'll begin to experience real change. Your energy will shift, your mindset will expand, and the opportunities you once thought were out of reach will start to appear. If you want a different outcome, you have to be willing to do things differently. The life you want is on the other side of the habits you choose to break today. Taking action is the most important step in transforming your life. Many people spend years dreaming, planning, and waiting for the perfect moment to start. They tell themselves, I'll start when I feel ready, or I'll begin when the timing is right. But the truth is, there is no perfect moment. If you keep waiting for motivation or the right conditions, you'll never move forward. The only way to create change is to take action now, no matter how small that first step may be. Motivation is unreliable, One day you feel excited and ready to take on the world, and the next day you feel drained, distracted, or discouraged. If you rely on motivation alone, you'll always find a reason to put things off. This is why discipline is more important than motivation. Discipline means showing up and doing the work even when you don't feel like it. It means committing to your goals, not just on the days when it's easy, but on the days when it's hard. Think about the most successful people you admire. Do you think they felt inspired every single day? Of course not. They had days when they were tired, unmotivated, and full of self-doubt, but they kept going anyway. They understood that consistency beats motivation every time. The small actions you take daily, even when you don't feel like it, will determine your success. One of the biggest mistakes people make is thinking they need to take huge, life-changing steps right away. They believe they need to be fully prepared, have all the resources, or wait for the right time. But success is not about making one big leap. It's about taking small, consistent steps every day. Progress happens when you commit to moving forward, even if it's just 1 inch at a time. If you want to get healthier, don't wait until you have the perfect workout routine or diet plan. Start by taking a short walk today. If you want to start a business, don't wait until you have everything figured out. Start by researching, learning, or testing your idea. If you want to improve your skills, don't wait until you have free time. Make time, even if it's just a few minutes a day. Action creates momentum. The moment you start, even if it's small, you'll feel a shift. You'll realize that progress isn't as difficult as you thought. It just requires movement. And once you build that momentum, it becomes easier to keep going. The hardest part is always the beginning. But once you take that first step, the next one will feel more natural. So stop waiting, stop overthinking, stop making excuses. The best time to start was yesterday. The second best time is now. Your future self is depending on the actions you take today. One small step forward is always better than standing still. The life you want begins with what you choose to do right now. Your environment plays a huge role in shaping your behavior, mindset, and success. Many people underestimate how much their surroundings influence them, but the truth is, the people you spend time with, the content you consume, and the atmosphere you create around you can either push you toward growth or hold you back. Take a moment to reflect on the people in your life. Are they encouraging you to become better, or are they filling your mind with doubt and negativity? If you're constantly surrounded by people who complain, make excuses, or discourage you from chasing your dreams, it becomes much harder to believe in yourself. Even if you have big ambitions, staying in a negative environment will drain your motivation and limit your progress. On the other hand, when you surround yourself with people who are driven, ambitious, and supportive, you naturally start to think bigger. You absorb their mindset, learn from their experiences, and feel inspired to take action. That's why successful people are intentional about who they spend time with. They know that your environment is stronger than your willpower. No matter how disciplined you try to be, if your surroundings don't support your growth, you'll struggle to stay on track. But it's not just the people around you, it's also the things you expose yourself to daily. What kind of content are you consuming? Are you filling your mind with negativity, gossip, and distractions? Or are you learning, growing, and improving? The books you read, the videos you watch, the conversations you engage in, these all shape the way you think and behave. If you want to change your life, you need to be intentional about what you allow into your mind. This doesn't mean you have to cut people out of your life completely, but it does mean being mindful of who and what gets your energy. If certain relationships drain you, set boundaries. If social media makes you feel unmotivated, take a break. If your current environment is holding you back, find ways to expose yourself to better influences, even if it's through books, podcasts, or online community. The good news is you don't have to be stuck in a negative environment forever. You have the power to create a space that supports your growth. If you don't have a strong support system, seek out mentors, join groups of like-minded people, and immerse yourself in content that inspires and educates you. Change doesn't happen overnight, but the more you surround yourself with positivity, ambition, and success-oriented people, the more your mindset and actions will align with that energy. You become what you are exposed to. If you want to level up your life, start by leveling up your environment. Choose wisely, because the people and influences around you will either push you forward or keep you exactly where you are. The choice is yours. Many people fear failure because they see it as a sign of weakness, embarrassment, or proof that they are not good enough. They hesitate to take risks or try new things because they are afraid of making mistakes. But what if we change the way we look at failure? What if, instead of seeing it as something to avoid, we saw it as a necessary part of success? The truth is, failure is not the opposite of success. It is a part of it. No one in this world has ever achieved greatness without facing setbacks, making mistakes, and experiencing moments of doubt. The most successful people are not those who never fail, but those who refuse to let failure stop them. They see every mistake as a lesson, every setback as an opportunity to grow, and every challenge as a test of their determination. Think about the people who inspire you. Do you think they reached success on their first attempt? Absolutely not. Behind every achievement is a long history of failures, rejections, and struggles. Thomas Edison, the inventor of the light bulb, failed over 1,000 times before he succeeded. When asked about his failures, he didn't see them as wasted attempts. He saw them as 1,000 ways that didn't work, which brought him closer to the solution. If you shift your mindset and see failure as feedback rather than defeat, you will start to embrace challenges instead of fearing them. Every time you fail, you learn something new. You discover what doesn't work, you gain experience, and you develop resilience. Failure is not a sign that you should give up. It's a sign that you are pushing beyond your comfort zone, which is exactly where growth happens. The real failure is not making mistakes. The real failure is not trying at all. Too many people hold themselves back because they're afraid of looking foolish, being judged, or feeling uncomfortable. But imagine how many dreams remain unfulfilled simply because people let their fear of failure stop them from even starting. Wouldn't it be more painful to look back on your life and regret the chances you never took? If you want to succeed, you have to be willing to fail. You have to be willing to step into the unknown, take risks, and keep moving forward even when things don't go as planned. The only way to truly fail is to quit. As long as you keep learning, adapting, and improving, you are never really failing. You are growing. So stop fearing failure. Embrace it. Use it. Let it teach you. Let it push you to become better, stronger, and wiser. Because every failure is simply a stepping stone on the path to success. And if you keep going, one day you'll look back and realize that every setback, every mistake, and every challenge led you exactly where you were meant to be. One of the most powerful realizations you can have in life is that you are in control. Your actions, decisions, and habits shape your future. Too often, people feel like life is something that happens to them rather than something they have the power to direct. They blame circumstances, other people, or bad luck for where they are. But the truth is, no one else is responsible for your life. You are. It's easy to fall into the trap of waiting for things to change on their own. You might think, once I have more time, I'll start working on my goals, or when the right opportunity comes, I'll take action. But life doesn't work that way. Change doesn't happen when you wait. It happens when you decide to take charge and make things happen. The people who achieve their dreams aren't necessarily the smartest, luckiest, or most talented. They are simply the ones who took responsibility for their future. They refused to wait for permission, for luck, or for someone to come and save them. Instead, they looked at their situation, identified what needed to change, and took action. If you feel stuck, the first step is to stop blaming things outside of your control and start focusing on what is in your control. You may not be able to change your past, but you can control what you do next. You may not be able to control other people, but you can control how you respond to them. You may not have all the resources you wish for, but you can make the most of what you have. The moment you accept that your life is your responsibility, everything changes. Taking control doesn't mean everything will be easy. There will be challenges, obstacles, and failures along the way. But the difference between successful and unsuccessful people is that successful people don't let difficulties stop them. Instead of saying, I can't do this because of my situation, they ask, what can I do with what I have? Instead of waiting for the perfect time, they make now the right time. So if there's something in your life that you're unhappy with, change it. If you're in a job you don't love, start learning new skills or looking for new opportunities. If you're not where you want to be financially, take control of your spending, saving, and earning potential. If you want to improve your health, don't wait until Monday. Start making better choices today. You are the author of your own story. No one else is going to write it for you. The good news is, you don't have to wait for permission to create the life you want. You don't have to wait for the right moment, the right opportunity, or the right circumstance. The only thing you need to do is decide that you are in control and act accordingly. The life you want isn't something you wish for. It's something you create, one decision at a time. Change starts now, and it starts with you. Thank you, and keep moving forward.